الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين فاطر السماوات والأرضين ثم الصلاة على رسوله الكريم جد الحسن والحسين مولانا ومولى الثقلين أبي القاسم محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الغر الميامين المخجلين واللعنة على أعدائهم أجمعين وغاصبي حقوقهم ومنكري فضائلهم من ليلنا هذا إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد فقد قال الله تعالى في كتابه الحكيم وقوله الحق. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وأوحى ربك إلى النحل أن اتخذي من الجبال بيوتا ومما يعرشون ثم كلي فاسلكي سبل ربك ذللا يخرج من بطونها شراب مختلف ألوانه فيه شفاء للناس إن ذلك لآيات لقوم يتفكرون. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. इस कुरान को दरक दें, शायद ये मेरे पैर के नीचे से नीचे लेवल इसलिए ऊपर होना चाहिए. Inshallah, I'm requesting first recite one time Surah Hamd, 3 times Surah Tawheed for the marhum. They're reciting Quran for them, and we are completing someone. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen ar-Rahman ar-Rahim Maliki Yawm Din Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim sirata al-ladzina an'amta alaihim ghayril maghdubi alaihim waladdallin. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله أحد الله الصمد يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله أحد الله الصمد يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. Please recite loud Surah Fatiha, Surah Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Today my topic is honeybee, and we're going to learn Tawheed, Nabuwat, Imamat out of that. Among the Surah Quran, one of the Surah which Allah named after is Nahl, means bee. Why Allah named this Surah? Because Allah wants us to look into the miraculous creation of this insect, how beautifully Allah created and what product this bee is producing for us. Allah is not only asking us to learn my creation and gain evidence for my existence, also thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah asks insect to produce useful food for you. That's not only a food, but Allah said, Fihi shifa'un linnas. Allah made that food remedy for your disease. How this is the remedy? But we have to first understand the Tawheed. Allah does exist. When Allah exists, how we collect the evidence to enrich our faith and become a true faithful person. So if someone declares, I am a believer, Allah is not going to accept his belief unless he puts some evidence behind it. Right? So we have to collect evidence as much as possible. That is the good thing for us. Every creature gave us evidence for his existence. Anything you look with the Tawheed or with proper understanding, you're going to learn Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're going to see Allah. Because Prophet said, I never seen anything, but I saw Allah before it, with it and after it. So Allah exists everywhere if we look with our proper vision and proper understanding. So Allah is saying in this verse, Surah Nahl is number 16 surah in the Quran, and this verse is 67. So it's very easy to understand. So what Allah is saying? وَأَوْحَى رَبُّكَ إِلَى النَّحْلِ أَنِ اتَّخِذِي مِنَ الْجِبَالِ بُيُوتًا. Your Lord inspired the bee to make his hives, where Allah is not only allowing bee to make hives or house anywhere it want. Allah said no, because you're going to produce something useful for mankind, you have to select your livelihood on proper place, right? Make your houses or your hives on right place. Number one, Allah said, where? وَأَوْحَى رَبُّكَ لِلنَّحْلِ أَنِ اتَّخِذِي مِنَ الْبُيُوتِ جِبَالًا. First, you have to make in mountain or on trees or on higher elevated places. These are only three options Allah gave to honeybee to make it hives, right? Number one thing, the basic miracle, which is normally they teach to the kids, and kids are sitting here, so I give them very simple logical reason to believe why Allah inspired the honeybee and what is the evidence of inspiration. Inspiration means wahi. So when honeybee start making his hive and make cell, or we say comb inside the hive, they are hexagonal, right? And one bee is not making the whole comb. Several bees are working together. How they're working? And they make very perfect comb, right? Inside or comb inside the hive, that's hexagonal. So when the honeybees are making their comb, where they got the training? You see, if I ask a small child here sitting, make a hexagonal shape for me, he's not going to make without a scale or pencil. If he start making, still he's going to make all the angles shorter or longer than others, right? It's not going to be perfect because your training is not there. Even you're using instruments, but whatever you're making is not perfect. How come honeybee make the perfect comb without any training? That means وَأَوْحَى رَبُّكَ إِلَى النَّحْلِ. Allah inspired the honeybee, taught before it came in the world, right? So if Allah able to give like knowledge to honeybee to make a perfect comb before coming in this world, or inspired means gave the built-in knowledge, that means it's very easy for us to understand. If Allah going to send someone as a guide from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who going to be imam or prophet, he not going to learn in this world. Allah going to give him knowledge before he come to in this world. Where is the evidence? Evidence is in the Quran. When Hazrat Isa was giving the gawahi, or we say the witness of his mother's purity, what Hazrat Isa said, Inni Abdullah atani al-kitaba wa ja'alni nabiyya. He's declaring, at that day I am a slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah gave me book. When he was declaring he has book, he was just 3 days old. So when Hazrat Isa can declare he has the book, when he was 3 years old, Muslims must believe Jesus is, or Hazrat Isa is, not the highest level of the Prophet. Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa alayhi. He is Khatamul Anbiya, he is Sardarul Anbiya, he is like the chief of all the prophets. Then he must have the knowledge before he come into this world. This is like one evidence you have to keep in your mind or use as a logic, right? This is the logic. Now, there's so many other discussions about it. Okay, go to the next level. So when he make his comb in hives in this perfect manner, he used the wax, right? So that is like this. See, if you just study the life of the honeybee, there's very miraculous things. I'm going to just mention some small facts about it. Not all detail, because I normally recite 3 or 4 majalis about it. So I'm going to collect only the best pieces out of my majalis, inshallah, deliver to you to keep as a evidence for Tawheed, Nabuwat and Imamat, inshallah. And utilize it in your life whenever you think about your Iman. You have to put these evidence behind your thoughts, so you have perfect belief in that, right? That is the main purpose of discussion, right? Okay, so when he's making the comb inside the hive, is a perfect calm, right? Number one. Okay. When it start producing the honey, it's not start producing the honey. All bees have a step-by-step life. How step-by-step life starts? Number one, when like the bee bones, immediately start working. Immediately start working after few days. The first thing they start working on that, they start making hive, because first thing Allah produce in their body is wax. As soon as they're able to produce the wax, they know the wax is good for making hive, making comb. So they start producing like wax and making the hives. After like the few weeks, the wax production going to be stopped. So honeybee not going to work on the task. The task going to change. Okay, today your task you are elevated. You are starting another thing. You already contributed in the making the hives. So you are done. Now second things Allah produce in the honeybee's body is called venom. Type of a dangerous poison is called venom. When as soon as it got the venom, Allah is not ordering it. You say Allah inspired them. So they have wahi. So what task they get? They become guard bee. First they were like contributing in construction. Next time they become guard bee. What guard bee do? They stand outside the hive and protect their hive from other honeybees. You see honeybees are flying everywhere. They are not allowed to go any hive they want. No, they are not allowed to go in any hives. They only allowed to go the hives they belong to. So how they recognize? They have no ID card. They have no passport. There is no visa for them to go out and in. There's system in that. More complex system you able to think, where is the miraculous system is Allah created in that. So listen, this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala behind all the creatures. So how, as soon as they become guard bee, what their task is? To protect their hive from other bees to enter inside their hive. So how it works? Every bee when leave the hive, they have to visit the queen. Without visiting queen, they are not allowed to go out. They have to go to queen, and queen bee always producing type of perfume from it. A special perfume of that comb, that hive, right? So when this producing perfume, they have to get the perfume from there. That type of smell out of that. And when they are getting the smell, they go out for searching the nectar. Collect the nectar from different flowers. When they are coming back, they have to carry that same perfume. They are not allowed to lose, right? So all the guard bees are standing outside. They are smelling them. Okay, they are belong to our comb, so they are like the hive, so they are allowed to enter. If there are some other bees, they are intending to enter inside that hive, they immediately going to bite and kill them. They are not going to allow it. So this is the miraculous system. So they become guard bee for few days. Now where is I'm not going to teach you just like something related to how honeybee produce the honey. That's not my topic. Topic is Tawheed, Nabuwat, Adal, Imamat and Qayamat, right? You are commemorating someone like the death, right? Someone died, so we are inshallah pray for him. So Allah elevate his status in Jannah. So we have to learn that thing. We have to like learn something so Allah can give sawab to those people. We are just arranging majalis for them. So how that's related to our life. Now understand what I gave you the whole example, but we have to just apply in our life. How we apply in our life? That same thing. Allah created us in heaven, and our Ahlul Bayt was said, Shiyatuna min fazile tinatina. Our Shia created by our remaining like dirt or remaining nur. So we are related to them. So we have that smell or that type of perfume from Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. When we left the Jannah, Allah gave type of attributes to us. If we carry the same attributes back to the Jannah, Allah going to allow us to go to Jannah. Same way, the honeybee is allowed to enter into hive if she carry the same perfume she got from the queen. So the queen is the chief of the bees, and Ali is the chief of the human being, because Imam Ali salam got the title from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would say Yasubuddin. Yasub means the chief of honeybee. So when chief of honeybee is not allowing any honeybee enter into hive without carrying the same perfume, Allah not going to allow anyone into heaven unless he carry the Hubb Ali ibn Abi Talib. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Ya Ali. So that's how everyone said that thing. Simple or not. You see, not Sunni or Shia. All Muslim mention in their books very clearly what they said. No one able to enter in paradise unless he has the Hubb Ali in his heart. He love Ali alayhi salam. Believe in him. Right? That's every book mentioning, because that's the reason Allah created us for sake of Ahlul Bayt. So we have to carry the love of Ahlul Bayt to enter into Jannah. Same way the honeybee leave the hive with the perfume of the queen and allowed to enter back into the hive with the same perfume. We created in the Jannah. We are here collecting good deeds. When we go back, we have to carry the same hope and love with us. This simple message. Inshallah, if you understand that thing, let's go to the next level. Okay. When venom level is gone, so after because they are getting older. So when they're getting older, their stage is changing. Same honeybee, same bee is doing different tasks in their life. Whatever the life they have task is divided into several categories. So number one, first they are construction, contributing in construction. Second thing, they are become guard bee. You see, you have to first create, then make it safe, then you produce. Now they are allowed to go and collect the nectar. When they are allowed to collect the nectar, they start become like the worker bee. Worker bee normally go and collect the nectar from the flowers. Now this is a miraculous thing, listen carefully. First let me give you some fact, because if I just discuss everything about science, it's become a little bit hard for you to understand. But inshallah, in between science, I give you some history too. So recite loud salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Okay. Number one, how long honeybee exist on this world? This is a good question, right? Okay. So answer is that they exist before Adam was created. How? Where is the proof of that? Proof of that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Hazrat Adam in the heaven, right? When Hazrat Adam created in the heaven, he used to eat the heavenly food, right? So normally you live in a United States, whenever you go back to your home, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, everywhere, right? Wherever, always doctors suggest you do not eat outside. You're going to become sick. Why? Because there is no good hygiene is in practice. So eat only the safe food, because you live in very pure environment. When you go in the environment which is not suitable for you, you may fall sick, right? So same thing, Hazrat Adam used to eat the heavenly food. When he coming on the earth, heavenly food is not exist here. If Adam eats something here, he going to fall sick. Allah don't want to put him in danger. So Allah created way before honey, and honey is producing the food which called like the honey, right? So when honey was exist, Allah said, go Adam and eat the honey, because before you go on the earth, I already ordered the honeybee to produce for you heavenly food. So eat heavenly food on earth and remember me how much merciful for you. So I created something for you before you go to the earth. Recite salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So first food Hazrat Adam ate or exists for him. That's mentioned in the tafsir, heavenly food. Because that's the reason when we go back to the Jannah, honeys exist there too, right? So honey exists in the heavens, and also Allah gave the food for Hazrat Adam to remain healthy on the earth. But one other part, okay. You see, how long, the honey is one of the product, you never need refrigeration, right? You don't need to put it. It's always safe and sound and usable without any outside protection. It's protected itself. Allah created in a way no bacteria, virus grow inside. That's some molecular, because it's created by the wahi. So if something is created by the wahi, they are self-sustenance, right? They have no need to protect it from outside. That's it. That's it. I have very good, like the comment, inshallah. If it was Urdu, it was really very good, easier to understand, right? But let me make in English, inshallah. Some of you are very much, inshallah, knowledgeable person, they can understand that thing. You see, wherever wahi is in work, or someone created with the inspiration of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or wahi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are self-sustenance, they do not need help from outside for their existence. If someone saying, Lawla, Aliyun, La Halaka, and Mim Re, that means he needs some refrigeration or protection from outside. He is not self-sufficient to exist without any help. But Ali alayhi salam never get any help from anyone. Said, Saluni, Saluni, Qabla an takhfiduni. Recite salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali. Ya Ali. So you understand that thing, very simple, right? So honey never need any type of refrigeration or protection. It's self. So how long honey can be exist and still usable? How old honey you can use? So I was researching a lot. When I was researching, this is my old majlis. I'm reciting for you because you are new for me. That's the reason. But a very old majlis. People like me when I go some other places. Normally I recite in Urdu, this majlis in very much like different tone. But because as a common gathering, so I try to use my English to convey this message for you. And we use Urdu, they have special words for that to convey the message very easily. And they have like some special points to make. This is called nukta. But here inshallah I will try to create the same nukta for you to understand out of that. So remember, you see pyramid in the Misr. They try to bury the people in that. While they are burying, what they were thought about it. They had concept. This person going to become alive when Allah going to call everyone in the day of judgment, right? Resurrection day. So when this person going to awake or become alive, he may be hungry, because he's sleeping. So he may be hungry. So he needs food or some type of protection. So they always keep food with them. But see, we know if they leave any worldly food, it's going to be corrupted. We know this person may be like their life after 10 year, 15 year, 100 year, 200 year, 500 year, million year, no one knows. So they must keep the food, it remains safe in the grave. So they normally mummify the body. After mummifying the body, they put food with that and then put inside the pyramid, right? So after discovering all these facts, they are opening the pyramids and taking out these mummies out. They found a bowl of honey inside that. And they sent for the research to find how old this honey is. You know how old the mummy is. As old as mummy is there, the body is there, the honey is the same old, right? Same age. So they found the honey is 3,000 year old. How old honey they found inside with the mummy? 3,000 year old honey. And they asked the scientists to research and see it is still consumable or not. They said yes. No bacteria virus grows inside, is still consumable. So if honey can remain intact, usable for 3,000 years without any virus, without any bacteria, is not going to become harmful or exists as it is, that easy to understand. If Allah can protect the honey for 3,000 years, why not Allah protect our Imam Zamana for this long? Recite salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Ya Ali. So this is another fact. You see, there are many facts about it. Honey is really good thing to use. Okay, for just let me hadith, if I remember right now, if later on I have time or not, because in the end time I try to short my majlis to fit into time frame. So I cut so many things. But as for this, especially these kids, someone came to Imam Ali Raza alayhi salam. And Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa alim. He asked Mawla, my memory is not sharp. I want a sharp memory. Right? I try to remember everything good. So what should I do? Imam suggests 3 things for him. Right? It's mentioned in every book. You can go, but especially just reminding you guys too. Number what Imam said, use the milk, honey, and read Quran. If you do these 3 things, Allah going to give you sharper memory. Okay, which 3 things you are doing every day, guys? No one, right? So how can you get sharper memory? Recite salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. If you want really sharp memory, you have to use these three things on daily basis. When your mom is giving you milk, in place of sugar, she must put honey inside, right? So it becomes sweet honey. Recite salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. And whenever you go to school, right? How many kids they are sitting here? They have iPod, iPad, and I don't know how many names are there. Now so many gadgets are. You have, right? So everyone go with the bus, right? How many people go with the bus? Everyone go with. How long it take to you go to school? Half an hour. My God, that's good time. What do you do in that duration? Nothing. That's good idea. Okay. You carry your iPod with you or no? Or you don't have? How many people? My son carries always, you see. And I suggested him, if you're going to school, if you're carrying your iPod, because right now they're asking you carry your iPad or iPod or your computer with you, right? Why? Because they are right now illuminating the books. They try to give you books on your gadgets, right? So you can see the books on your computer because they don't want to pay extra money for their books. So what my point is, because you have to remain in the majlis, I don't want to have conversation with you right now in the majlis, I have to make so many points. So read your Quran while you're going. So when you leave your home for school, first drink a cup of milk with the honey, and while you're going to school, spend that half an hour, 15 minutes with your iPod, open the surah and recite while you're going. So you can take advantage of your time. And because you need sharper memory in school, your teacher going to teach you. If you are brilliant, if you really want to successfully in your life, intelligent person, you have to understand everything properly. And for understanding, you need sharper memory. Sharper memory only comes with the suggestion of our Imam Ali Raza alayhi salam. Recite salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. So I gave you opportunity to use three things together. Okay, now come back to the science, where our main discussion is, right? Now, honeybee is ready to collect the nectar to produce honey for us, right? So while it leaving with the perfume of that comb or that hive, leaving outside, right, going outside, it travels normally 15 miles per hour. This is slow speed, right? And it goes up to the 3 to 6 mile of distance, right? That is the duration or time duration they need to go, right? Distance and time duration. Keep these two things in mind. But problem is that, as I said in the beginning, they are not allowed to go in any hive and deliver the nectar. No, they have to come back to their own hive. So they must know the way. If I ask you to go somewhere, you say, how come I go without GPS, Maulana? Give me direction. I cannot reach to the place which are known for me, right? So it's going always on unknown place to collect the nectar, but they have to come back to your home. So you always hit the home button and your car bring you back to home. Okay, that's good idea. Okay, now, where the honeybee have the GPS in there? Allah created much powerful GPS than what we have, guys. Listen, how many eyes honeybee have? They have the 5 eyes. How many? 5 eyes. 3 are regular one is complex, means each eye has 1,000 glasses. How many? 1,000 glasses in there. Go and research. I just opened that the file to show you the picture of the honeybee's eyes, that complex eyes, right? 2 eyes are created on the face of honeybee, which are complex, means they have 1,000 glasses in that. That is the GPS for honeybee. How do you utilize that? Because honeybee always go from hive to the flower to collect the nectar. 3 miles to 6 miles. Come back. Right? 6 miles is a long duration. Sometimes I get lost if I go for 2 or 3 miles where I'm the new unknown person. People forget their ways, right? So honeybee utilize their eyes as a GPS. How utilize? While Allah gave him that complex eyes. That is this is the all evidence of Allah's existence. This is the miracle. Allah created 5 eyes. 3 are regular one, 2 are with 1,000 glasses in each eye. Why? Because when Habibi start traveling, he find the direction through sun. What it used? Sun rays to find the way back home or locate where she exists. She always Honeybee always like the move his tail in 8 shape. It's called dance because they use word dance in the books. I don't know why they wrote it, but that is the word they use. But they always move his tail in shape of 8, right? And that is the moving the tail is sign of their GPS. They give direction to each other. They tell other honeybees where they are right now, how far the hive is, and where their location they like to go. They always. So how they utilize? They utilize the sun rays, right? Sun rays. But problem is that why Allah gave the honeybee 1,000 like the small glasses, or we can say because we have only one colony, right? They have 1,000 colony. So why Allah gave it? Because they use for direction. How they use for direction? Because sun is not staying on one place. Sun is in constant motion, right? Like coming out in the morning from east going in the west, right? It's going to be opposite when before Imam Zamana reappear. But right now is on the same schedule, right? The schedule not going to change. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. So every the 4 minute sun change its location in 1 degree. So because they are flying 15 miles per hour and they go to 3-4 miles, so they need almost 20-30 minutes to fly together. In 20-30 minutes, sun going to change its location. If they are changing its location, how come honeybee find the perfect way, right? For perfect way, Allah created these so many glasses in its eye, so they can locate their location without any problem. This is the miraculous things Allah created in eyes of honeybee to adjust his location with the constant motion of sun. Allah knows the need of every creature, so Allah gave whatever they need for their existence. This is one of the message, right? Allah never left any creature without help, without the necessity of their life. So if this is the law, we can ask, oh Allah, you created Hazrat Adam as prophet because he must guide someone who need assistance from him. So that same law must exist. Allah said, I'm going to keep that same law. I'm not going to leave the earth without a imam or prophet who is getting the message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because you need guidance all the time. So whenever someone need the guidance, I provide the help for them. So this help exists, my dears. Where the help exists, Allah created the whole universe in the form. Everywhere you look, the sign of Allah exists. If in the past the Prophet were exist, at the time when Prophet wanted to leave, he left Imam Ali as a successor, and before day of Qiyamah, Allah want to keep the same system so no one can complain. In my time, I never had any heavenly guide to approach him and get my guidance from him. So Allah said, if you at the time of Prophet and Imam, wherever they were alive and they are in the public, we can approach them directly, but when they are in occultation behind the curtain, we are still able to contact them. How we contact them? We write the ariza, do the dua, and we can get our answer from them to believe in their existence. Recite salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. So this is a miraculous thing. Okay, number one. Let me quote one very simple, very shortest one. Okay, one question is there. What question is there? If Allah gave honeybee ability to use the sunlight for their direction in this complex manner, this GPS is created right now, and you are using satellite. Honeybee is using the last satellite. This is sun. It's much powerful and stronger. That's the reason honeybee always collect the nectar in the daytime, not in night time, right? That is because they need sunlight to go away from hive and come back to the hive. So they always use the sun as a light. So they always produce or collect the nectar in the daytime. That's one thing. Okay. So, but if Allah gave honeybee the power to use sun for their direction, and that's come from where? وَأَوْحَى رَبُّكَ إِلَى النَّحْلِ أَنِ اتَّخِذِي مِنَ الْجِبَالِ بُيُوتًا. Means Allah created the system in the honeybee to use sunlight for their guidance. Right? So this is the very good point for us to remember. If Allah gave the honeybee, it's very small, tiny insect. Regardless, you have not pay attention even though to that. But other side, if you see, if Allah gave honeybee that power to use sunlight for their direction, Allah able to give the power to someone who can change the direction of sun sometime. And that happened not only once, that happened twice in the lifetime of Imam alayhi salam. Why? Once when Prophet was sleeping on the lap of the Imam alayhi salam, and Wahi was started revealing, Imam performed his salat while he was sitting, and sun was set down. So when Prophet asked Ali, you perform your salat? You said, I did my salat while I was sitting, but not in the manner I should perform because you were sleeping on my lap. Then he said, oh Ali, order the sun is going to rise again from the west. And immediately Imam show his finger and sun is rising back. You see, is that possible or not? Yes, it is possible. Why it is possible? Because we cannot understand the power of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Why is not possible? Because we only understand the limited things. Because our brain is very limited. We cannot go beyond our limit because our understanding is so much limited. What Allah created in this universe, we don't know yet. Why? Because they said 84,000, not 84,000 galaxies are there. How many? 84,000 galaxies are there. Under the galaxies, there are thousands of solar systems are there. In the solar systems, there are so many like stars are there, right? If you compare everything together, what are you going to find? In location, if you see, go and bigger, like when you Google your earth, how your house look like. Not even markable, not even a point, right? If you go in bigger GPS, not only do the zooming on your the earth, zoom the whole universe together. We can even not exist in universe like a tiny spot. That is like location. That is the scientists are giving us, right? This is the fact. Right now they are discovering the universe is very limited. Right? Galaxies are much bigger. And all the creations are Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are not even countable. They are not, you can imagine. So you see, whatever created for sake of whom? Allah said, I created everything for sake of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. When everything is created for sake of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, it's hard for us to understand whatever Allah created for their sake. When everything is created for their sake, we have to understand, yes, these things also recognize Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. They are obedient to them. So one day, Allah asked Imam Ali to order the sun. He's going to change his direction, come back from west for you. That means it's created for you and obedient to you. Besides salat, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. So remember this, how the honeybee used the sun light for their guidance. We use alayhi salam for the guidance because he guides the sun too. That is important things. For whoever we are believing, this is our faith. So let's collect the nectar and come back to the hive again and start producing. Okay, when it start producing, one things I found is very shocking to me. I was researching a lot, but I didn't find that thing. The honeybee never sleep. You see, that is a miraculous thing. I said you yesterday, sleeping is essential for every creature. Exception is there. Exception is honeybee. His work whole his life. Why? Reason is that always keep the hive temperature in the level where wax is remain intact, not melt down. So he use his wings to move all the time and produce the air and keep the hive temperature inside in certain level so hive remain intact. That is one thing. collect so many things are there. Let me make it short and go in the main point, because I'm looking at the watch and it's going so fast, faster than I speak. Recite salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. I speak very fast because people complain, Maulana, you speak very fast, because I see the clock run very fast. So I had to match myself with that, It's hard for me. I fell behind. And when I fell behind, I cannot convey my message to you. I have very slow majalis, but normally try to give you as much as possible, because we have very limited access to each other. So we have to. So now, it's more miraculous things. Listen carefully. This is the main point to understand and take with you, inshallah. I have so many other things about honey and how it's produced, what it affects, and how is the remedy, and these things are not going to be discussed today, inshallah. We'll see. Okay. Queen bee is always laying eggs and giving hive a new population, right? Population is increasing in the hive. So normally they said in one hive, which is a limited structure, carry up to 50,000 bees inside. How many? 50,000 bees can live in there. So normally start from 30,000 to 60,000. Whenever in between like that, 30 to 50, the queen bee realize the population is overpopulated, so I have to adjust that thing. Listen carefully. This is the miraculous things. So before it reaches to the level, it's going beyond the capacity, it knows before time, right? And before time, it start working on that. How it working on that? It lays a special egg which produces another queen bee. Queen bee never eat. These are some other so many miraculous things inside that. Honey bee, normal bees have regular food, but queen bee, feeded by the worker bee with the special jelly, special food. They have a special food because they have to have a special task. When you have special task, your food must be special. When I just connect with you like your eatable things, I said, if you want to really work properly and produce good deeds, you have to eat pure. Otherwise, it's not possible. If you're eating halal, you're going to have a good deeds. If you're eating something haram, your production going to be affected. So that's one thing. So, okay. Honeybee start, only one, start, then another honeybee going to train under that bee. What honeybee start doing? The queen bee start training another queen bee. And whenever that queen bee start training and reach to the level, it can control the population. The older bee leave the old house under supervision of a new bee. You see what miraculous things. The old bee leave the hive which exists already under the protection, under the guidance of new bee which trained under this queen bee, and remaining population they divide. Half of that going to remain in the hive, half of that going to go with the older bee. They separated from each other. Now how they communicate, this is miraculous. How they understand who going to remain in the hive, who going to go with the new one. Everything is miraculous, And immediately when the population reach to the level the hive cannot control, the new bee remain in the old hive and control the same system, and system going to be carry on, and the older bee flies from there. But this is another miraculous things. Not because the queen bee feeded by special jelly, so it's very fat, very bigger than regular bee. Now bee going to fly with the other bees. How many bees? 50,000 bees going to separate it into categories. 25 may remain in the hive, 25,000 goes with the older bee. So when older bees start flying, they have to fly with the regular bees, right? And they can unable to fly because they are very fat. So they stop eating that jelly before they start to flying, because they have to come in the same shape. They can fly in the same speed with the others. You see how much miraculous things are happening. They're not easy to understand and communicate. And when they reach to the perfection to fly with all the bees, because they are come to the same shape and start flying and finding new place to start building the new hive, and the production of honey going to be continue. So that is like the miraculous things happen. But now the question is arise: who taught the honey bee these all the complex, knowledgeable things to keep the production of honey intact for us? Answer is that وَأَوْحَى رَبُّكَ إِلَى النَّحْلِ أَنِ اتَّخِذِي مِنَ الْجِبَالِ بُيُوتًا. This is the inspiration of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the bee. What inspiration is that? Do not leave the hive without a proper guide. Otherwise, this hive going to destroy. Production going to be interrupted. Honey not going to produce. So you have to leave someone behind you as you, not another person. It's not allowed. Not tell, oh, all the bees I'm leaving today, you are allowed to elect any bee and that's going to be your king tomorrow. That's not never happen. You see, this science, this is nothing I'm producing myself. You can go research yourself, guys. You say, Maulana, don't read the Bible. I'm not reading. This is a simple thing. Recite Salah, please. Allah. How will they leave? They leave first. They train someone. And after training, because they already know these things. But still they have to give them time to come on the place. That's it. What Imam Ali said, I live with the Prophet ﷺ like a she-camel or a baby camel live with the mother of the camel. Walk behind it. Other place Imam said, Imam giving the example for us. Means Prophet gave me food or ilm like birds give food to the another baby birds. Means no change in that. Accurately. There's so many like the good points in that, but I'm giving you same example. So this is the whole system is saying. Very intact system is there's no election. There always selection because the qualities are there. When selections are there, that means production going to be not interrupted. That happened when Prophet was alive. The Islam was growing in the right direction because Prophet was producing or giving the knowledge to the people, and people are intact without any interruption. But what happened after Prophet? Things change. One sect remain with the ideology of the Prophet, with the concept of the Quran, and right now we believing in the Imamat, which is also one of the sign Allah created many years in the system of honey production or in the honeybee. So we have to follow the same thing because there is also here is that Allah created the whole system of guidance through the wahi for us too. So this simple thing, you see, there's no doubt in that. And they start building like the new hive, and their production going to be continue. There's so many other miraculous things are in there. And inshallah, I have no time to go in detail. Inshallah, some other time if I get chance, inshallah, I give you more miraculous things. How honey is beneficial, why honey is not like the remain intact. There's no like the chance of any bacteria or virus growth inside. That's the other things because there's no chance because there's the way it like the created is so much miraculous things are in that, inshallah. But inshallah some other time. So the points I made in the beginning to end, you see, from beginning what I said, there's sign of Tawheed in that. Why? Because honey made perfect comb or hive for us. There's no mistake in that because it's got from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inspired by Allah. So whenever some inspired by Allah or wahi is there, there's no chance of error, which we call the people of wahi are infallible, they are masoom, there's no chance of error at all. This ismat is there. This is another ismat, this is proof of ismat. Second thing I said, please, they always do every task in their life. Every bee must carry the different task in their life. They start from construction to the protection to the worker bee, and they produce the honey. You see, this is another thing, because this is the majlis of Tarhim. So I give you last message, remember, before I conclude everything. What say? Before honeybee dies, right? Is leave 1/10 of the spoon of honey. How much? Only 1/10 of a spoon of honey for us in the whole life. Whatever life they have, this only production there. So you see, a shortest life, if honeybee can leave the sweet, healthy remedy for us, this is the outcome of life of honeybee. So we must leave something sweet like honey, useful knowledge, or guidance for our future generation, so then carry the same system up to the reappearance of Imam Zaman alayhi salam. So what do we produce? We produce the good deeds. Among the good deeds, one of them are our azadari. We have to leave intact for our future generation without any change, so people can continuously getting the guidance from this place, and this is one of our duty to do in our life. Recite salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Inshallah. So there's other miraculous thing, inshallah. There's so many other things, inshallah, but like time is not there. So if some other time I get chance, inshallah, I give you some other messages. One of things that is coming in my mind, let me give you something very important. So when honey, like bees are collecting the nectar from the flowers, and this, you see how this is another thing. When you getting something from someone, you have to give it back. It's not allowed. So you can receive something without giving something back. So when honey is collecting nectar from flower, they are giving pollinations, means the fruit is produced due to the work of honeybee. 80% crop of the United States are pollinized, or they get that pollution, or like we say like they're converted to fruit due to the efforts of honeybee. If tomorrow honeybees is not exist, your basket of fruit going to be empty. You have no fruit at all. All fruits come to you due to the honeybee. Majority things are done by insect, and only insect produce these things. There are so many things are there, but this one thing. So when honeybee is collecting something from the flower, it serving there too. It's not getting free. It's giving them something back. So when you're receiving something from Ahlul Bayt, we have to give back something for their cause too. Recite salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. So when they collect the nectar, you see the last nectar, the honeybee collect from the nectar. This is very miraculous things. When I was studying, I shout, Listen, this last point, inshallah, I just conclude my majlis. How? When honeybee collect the last nectar from the flower, it put a special type of jelly on that, or sign there. Why is put the last thing on there? That is means this sign is indicating the no more nectar is available, so you are not waste your time, go and search on other flower. What he said? Put a sign before the last nectar is collected by any honeybee. This duty of honeybee to put a sign there. This flower is empty. There is no more nectar in that. Do not waste your time. Go to the next flower. Right? Why? Because if wasting your time is not matched with the inspiration of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you're inspired by Allah, you use your time properly. Okay, that's a good point. How I connect this point to our guidance? You see, we have two type of the people. They claiming the guidance for us. Right? One is come from Khilafat, one is come for the Imamat. The people are from Khilafat, they are honestly saying, like, Lawla aliyun lahalak Umar. Means we are not protected by ourselves. Someone else is protecting me, right? If I am misleaded, if I am misguided, you have to guide me, right? These all things are facts are available in the journal books, right? Others are what Imam alayhi salam saying, Saluni, Qablan takhfiduni, means he's asking us, ask me, there's lots of knowledge, there's no people they are available that can get or understand that knowledge. That means now we have to understand one side the board of emptiness is there, one side board of full is there. Now we are wise people, go where the knowledge is available. Don't waste our time where knowledge is empty. Recite salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. So we never waste our time. Why Muslims are wasting their time? Going somewhere where knowledge is not exist. Only you have to go where knowledge and useful things are exist. Now you go and search in the life of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. You're going to find the loss of useful things which are really necessary for our life to use in for daily basis. But inshallah, I'm going to conclude right here. Many other things are there. I don't know, because this is like the maybe good thing for me, bad thing for you guys. Why good thing for me? Because I can repeat my majlis, if not recorded and put on somewhere in public. So I recited this a long time ago, and some people are still asking, where's your majlis of Hanibiya? I recited 3 or 4 majlis on this subject, but because of like limited time, I gave you something in compact form. So inshallah, remember, understand Tawheed from this thing, Nabuwat, Imamat, and Qayamat, right? Everything is from this one verse of Surah Nahl. Which verse is 67? Surah number 16. Wo harabbuka lin-nahl an takhidhi minal jibale buyuta wa mimma yaqrashun. Again, if you produce this, summa kuli min kulli thamarat fasluki subul rabbiki dhulala. There's so many other points are there. If you want to produce something good, you have to very picky in your food. Do not eat anything available. Eat only thing which is suitable for you. That's another message from this verse. So you can remain faithful or healthy, like physically and spiritually. Inshallah. Okay, inshallah, that's part of that. What do you see? Honey is one of the things you remember in the Karbala too. Why? Because when Prophet, like Imam Hussain salam, said we are going toward the death, and death is waiting for us. Who heard that thing? Hazrat Qasim ibn Hassan. When Hazrat Qasim ibn Hassan heard that thing, okay, we are going toward the death, right? Then Imam Hussain asked from his nephew, oh my nephew Qasim, what do you think about death? Then Hazrat Qasim asked only one thing, are we on right path or not? And then Imam replied, who can be more righteous than us? Then Hazrat Qasim replied very simply, what he said? Al-mautu ahla min al-asal. Death is sweeter to me more than honey. Means only person believe in this concept if he knows he is on right path. So if you are on right path, death is not a like a scaring thing for us. It's ahla min al-asal, sweeter than honey. That is only like proverb Hazrat Qasim left for us to remember. When we are on right path, death is a door for eternal life. We are going toward that. But you see, the Qasim was martyred in this. How old he was? Let me just mention something related to him today, and something about what is related to this ayyam of Safar. Hazrat Qasim ibn al-Hasan, he was orphan child. He was few years old when Hazrat Qasim was few years old when Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba poisoned and he martyred. So there is a difference between Imam Hassan and Imam Hussain death is only 10 years. So Hazrat Qasim was, they are mentioning, is 13-year-old. Some of riwayat is mentioning. So 13-year-old, many years, like the kids you can see, they are 13-year-old. So when 13-year-old person ready to sacrifice his life, right? Normally Imam not going to give him permission because you are too young. You are not allowed to go and fight with these people. They are in massive number. They are equipped with so many type of weapons. They are ready to kill anyone. They are killing since morning. How can I permit you to go? You are sign of my son, my brother. But Hazrat Qasim was insisting because Hazrat Farwa was sending, insisting to, oh Qasim, go and sacrifice your life. Hazrat Qasim was coming again and again, and Imam was refusing, not giving him permission. Ultimately he was sitting down. He asked his mother, oh mother, what should I do? Then Hazrat Farwa reminded him, say, oh my son, while your father was alive, he tied a taweez on your hand. Open that thing and see, that may be useful for you, because father said when you are in deep trouble you can seek help from that. And Hazrat Qasim ibn Hassan opened that things. What he found, there's a letter for Imam Hussain al-Salam from his brother Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba. As soon as Hazrat Qasim delivered that letter to Imam Hussain al-Salam, Imam Hussain saw his brother's handwriting and he remembering everything happened to Imam Hassan Mushtaba, where he was carrying toward the shrine of the Prophet, and people are start shooting arrow toward his body and everything. Imam Hussein start crying. He's holding Hazrat Qasim his arm and crying, saying, "Oh my Qasim, you brought so much powerful evidence I give you permission to go and die." But what like Maqatil was mentioning, Hazrat Qasim was so young. There's no armor was made for his size. So he cannot wear any armor. So where people are like hitting from sword or shooting arrow toward him, he may get some protection. So only the person who went into battlefield without armor was Hazrat Qasim ibn Hassan. He went into battlefield without a armor, without any protection. And he was so young, he was unable to mount himself. He was unable to ride on horse by his own. So Imam Hussein helped him to mount him on the horse. When he sit on the horse, Imam Hussein did one thing. He opened his buttons. Why? Because this sign of orphanage. An orphan child, when go to the battlefield, they go in this manner, so people feel he's an orphan child, he's an orphan. And Prophet asks, you must be merciful and kind to the orphans. So Prophet Imam Hussein was sending Hazrat Qasim the form, he must go and get something. But what happened? Hazrat Qasim was fighting very, very, very strongly. But what happened? Other side, they start attacking from all the side. When they start attacking from all the side, Hazrat Qasim was falling down from the horse. Why he was falling down? He didn't call for help from Imam Hussein. What he said, "Oh my mother, come and help me." You see, only the child, then is this age, if they are in danger, they always seek help from their mothers. So Hazrat Qasim was calling help from his mother. As soon as Imam Hussein heard that voice, he's rushing toward the battlefield. When he's rushing toward the battlefield, Hazrat Qasim already came on the ground from his horse. When he was on the ground, what enemy saw? Imam Hussein is coming. As soon as the enemy saw Imam Hussein is coming to give assistance to Hazrat Qasim alayhi salam, they start running away. While they start running away, their horse are crushing the body of Hazrat Qasim under their feet. Hazrat Qasim was calling, "Oh my mother, come help me. Oh my mother, come help me." Hazrat Qasim was just asking for mother to come help. Imam Hussein reached to the Hazrat Qasim alayhi salam at the time when Hazrat Qasim was already left this world. He martyred. He died under the feet of the horse. At the time, Imam Hussein was sitting next to the body of Hazrat Qasim, is crying, "Oh my son, you said, Al-mautu ahla min al-asal. But in this position, how can I carry your body?" There are two riwayat are mentioned. You see, one riwayat is mentioning Imam start lifting the body of Hazrat Qasim. When Hazrat Qasim was so young, his height was not enough to mount on the horse himself. When Imam Hussein was trying to carry the body of Hazrat Qasim, he was taller than Imam Hussein alayhi salam because of that incident. But other riwayat is saying, which is more terrible, is more serious. This is what Imam Hussein said. Imam Hussein looked toward the tent, asked, "Oh, my mother Fizza, send me a piece of cloth. I need a piece of cloth to bring the body of Hazrat Qasim to the tent." And immediately a cloth was delivered to the Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Imam Hussein started collecting the pieces of body of Hazrat Qasim alayhi salam, folding in the cloth, carrying toward the tent. As soon as reached the tent of Hazrat Farwa, standing outside the tent, Hazrat Farwa came out, asked, "Oh Hussein, you brought all the bodies from the battlefield to the tent. Where is the body of my son Qasim? Where is my bride?" At the time, Imam just put the whole piece of the cloth on the ground. Say, oh my beloved, oh my dear Farwa, there is the body of Hazrat Qasim. Only Qasim body came in the manner. I collected the pieces in the cloth and brought for you. So your Qasim is now at your door. He martyred for sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sayalamu alladhina zalamu ayyamun qalbin yanqalibun. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم ارزقنا إيمانا صادقا ولسانا ذاكرا وقلبا خاشعا وبدنا صابرا وعلما نافعا وعملا متقبلا ورزقا واسعا وزوجة صالحة وولدا صالحا. صلى الله على محمد صلى الله على محمد.